Welcome back, Vintage RC fans. Thank you so much, man. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support for the channel. It really inspires me to keep making these videos and having fun with it. And love your comments. I try and respond to everything that you guys post. Just having a ball with it, and hope to make a lot of videos in the coming weeks and months. So I'm trying to be better about making more videos. So as I promised, when we hit 500 subscribers, we would do a review on the JRX Pro. I'm working on that video. David Worthman, shout out to you. You are the 500th subscriber to the channel. So thanks so much, and thanks to everybody who's subscribed and followed this journey. So one other project we got going though, I have a client that's wanting box art bodies. He sent me the Blue Groove repops of the original XXX body and the BK2 XXX body. These are the Team Blue Groove bodies. You guys are probably pretty familiar with these. Team Blue Groove is actually repopping just so many of the classic bodies, and it's a great way to get some of these really hard to come by bodies to put on the shelf in your collection. So we're going to walk you through every step from liquid mask all the way through final touches and maybe even some decal work. Not sure what the client wants at the end, but we'll walk you through some paint work. I've been promising to do that too, so let's get started. Okay guys, so the next step here is to wash these bodies out, because there's always a lot of release agent, fingerprints, who knows what on the inside of the bodies. So I just use regular dish soap. I think really any brand will do. I think you don't want anything with lotion in it or something, because that would probably leave a residue behind. But just your average dish soap. We'll take a little soap, just a little bit in the body, hot water. I just fill the body up with hot water, and then I use these little brushes. You can get these little, they're like $1 at a hardware store. I just use these and kind of paint around, get the soapy water all around there, get all the corners. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just getting it cleaned up. That's all you're after here. You can even take this, transfer it to the next body. Same thing, get it all cleaned, all the edges. If you don't do this, you'll be painting the body and you get to a spot and you could see that it just, we call it snake eyes. It just avoids that area. You get this empty spot where the paint just won't stick. So, and you don't realize it's there until it's too late. You're already kind of painting and big pain. So we'll rinse them all out. Just hot water. We don't want to touch it inside after this. Just rinse it. Throw it on the old drying rack. Pretty straightforward. Hot water. Get them dry, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, the bodies are dry, they're all washed out, and the next step is liquid mask. We're going to do 2 coats. I find that 2 moderately heavy coats is pretty good with some drying time in between. So, same brush that we have from, again, the dollar brushes, same thing we clean the body out with. There's lots of different masking film out there. There's the Bob Dively stuff, which you'll find at most hobby shops. There's also the Biddy, which is a pinkish color. This is like a light blue. The Biddy stuff is good too. I find the Bob Dively doesn't stick as good to the body, but it makes it easier to peel the colors and the layers out. The Biddy sticks even better to the body, but it's harder to peel out. So depending on how intricate the scheme is you're doing, you can maybe switch between the two, but they're both pretty good. So We take this, what I do is just pour some mask right in the body. You'll get better at like figuring out how much you need per body. But I just pour it in, take the brush, and just start working it around. It's not an exact art. I mean, you're just trying to spread it around as evenly as possible. If you get extra, I'll show you what you do with the extra, but first of all, just get it evenly spread. I like to take it all the way to the edges of the body that I'm doing, even though like that section, we're not going to use that anyway. It's going to get cut out, but it just makes it easier. Just peel it out. It's not wasting that much mask. I know the stuff's expensive, but it's just easier to take it right to the edge of the body. Just take it all the way out like that. I put too much in. That's not a big deal, especially if you're doing a couple bodies, because we can just scrape the extra into the next body. Just get it good. Just kind of scoop it back out. Throw it in the next body you're doing, if you're doing the next one. Otherwise, you can just wipe it on the jar edge, just like a paint can. I mean, you're just painting. So, the big thing, get rid of the heavy spots, because they'll take forever to dry. There's heavy spots in here. There's some heavy spots here. I'm shaking it out into that other body, but really, and it's all about just saving time. If you don't do that step, it'll still dry okay. It's just it'll take forever. And we're trying to do 2 coats of liquid mask here, so we don't want it to take 3 days to dry. I'm trying to paint this body in a day or 2, so that's about what you want. I mean, there's going to be heavy-ish spots, but you're really taking the most you can of the extra mask out. That's kind of the effect you're going for right there. So I'm going to finish up. I'm going to do the other body too. Same thing. The first coat. I'll spread this around, add a little more. And stay tuned. Okay, so that's what we have. We've done both bodies. Again, you're not going to get rid of all the brush marks, and it's not a big deal. But that's what you need to get it to in the first stage. We're going to do another coat, which I probably won't film because it's the same thing. We're just coating over this the exact same way. So the next thing we'll be filming here is the cutting process and cutting the scheme into the body. There you go. Alright guys, so the next step, now that we have the bodies liquid mask, we have 2 coats of liquid mask on both of the bodies. We're going to start cutting, and I'll show you how to do that. I realized a mistake from earlier in the video. The customer actually wants BK2 body and XXX original Kinwald body done. So both of the Kinwald XXXs, not the original XXX body. So we're going to be doing 2 Kinwald schemes. I'll set the camera down and hopefully this will work to show you how I do some cutting. I'll start with the window trims, what I usually do. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so on this body we're going to follow the cut lines from the inside. This one has a bar in the middle of the windows according to the box art. That's what we're doing. So we're going to cut that bar out. Try and get that angle works best for the camera, it looks like. Then we'll cut this bar. Steady hand, all it really takes, but been doing this just for a little while. Take some practice doing that. We're also cut the window trim inside of these two shapes we've made. On the box art I'll show you in a minute, but there's basically window trim. It's basically an 1/8 inch inside of the initial cut line. That's about what it looks like on the box art. So we'll do that. Try to make sure this stays in focus. Cut down there. And outline the front window. Like so. You can see that. We've got, that's what we'll do all the way around on the windshield and both windows. And that bar down the center there, that will be black body color. So that will be, it's basically what we're doing here is that window trim effect. I'll finish cutting the other windows on the regular XXX Kinwald. There is no middle bar, so it'll just be easier, just a straight outline. I'll get them all cut and move on to the next step. Okay guys, a little trick with the wings here. This wing is for the BK2. You can see it's got this kind of a jagged pattern, which really Kinwald I don't think ever really used, but we're doing a box art, so we do like we're told. And then the XXX Kinwald, the original Kinwald XXX, has more of a standard drip theme to it. Little trick with wings, you can actually use the clear coat, the plastic protecting this light blue coating, to cut the design right in. Basically using it like liquid mask or like masking tape. So I draw out the design on these bodies where I'm trying to make them as perfect as the picture. I like to pre-draw it. I've drawn this right on the wing itself with a Sharpie, and then I'll go and trace the design with the X-Acto knife and cut it right in to the protective sheet. So we'll cut that out and I'll show you what that looks like once we peel it. Okay, so we have the schemes cut into each of these bodies. Hard to really show, but everything that's going to be black, which will be the first color, we always paint dark colors to light colors. Everything that's black is peeled out already, and the rest of the scheme is cut in and ready to go. This body is the same way. This one's the more traditional drips. They're all cut in, but everything that's about to be black is peeled out already. The wings, same thing. They're peeled, and they're actually all cut. The design is cut. It's hard to see with the marker on it, but that's cut, and this is cut. So we're going to shoot the black first on all of this, and then start peeling out the rest of the design. Alright guys, so this is after we've painted the black. You can see we've got the design still cut out and ready to do the blue drop shadow around the drips and these BK2 style drips. And all the wings as well are ready to shoot in the same manner. There's the BK2 one. So I'll walk you through we'll shoot this one. I just use standard blue, just nothing nothing metallic. Do a little test spray. Alright, so I'm really just trying to do a light mist around all the edges, and I want to spray it kind of this way to keep it away from the area that's going to be white. We don't want a whole lot of misting in there. I'm going to start here. Edges inside real dark. Go over it a little bit. That's about what we want. Just a good mist from this side, like that. Just a good drop shed all the way around. And then we'll be backing that with white on all of the 4 pieces. Okay, so the blue is laid down and now it's backed with white. So we end up with our drop shadow. It's turned out really good. You end up with that nice blue to white fade. And we've peeled off all of the remaining spots that will be yellow, so all the window trim. Same as this body. And the wings as well. They're painted and ready for the yellow. Wing here. So that is coming along nicely. I'll shoot some pictures after we're done with the last step here. Alright, here's the finished product. After backing the remaining section with yellow and backing that with white, then we have the finished body and wing set for the original XXX Kinwald and now the BK2. Little different schemes, still a Kinwald kind of effect, but that's how they're done. Came out really well, good detail on both. I didn't choose to back the drips are shadowed there. I've never seen that done on a Kinwald body that he's ever run. This is, somebody painted this for the box art, and the customer didn't want that, and I didn't want to paint that in. It's true to the box art, but it's really not true to the Kinwald effect. So we chose to avoid that, but overall, that's the finished product. Thanks for coming along on the ride. Glad I was able to bring a paint video to the channel finally. Been meaning to do that. So definitely like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.